So I was feeling pretty chilly and I thought it would be nice to make some hot chocolate. So this recipe is your classic hot chocolate. I don't like to mess around with it too much, but it does have two components. We're going to start with the first component, which is making the whipped cream to garnish the hot chocolate with. So in a mixing bowl here, I'm going to be adding half a cup of 35% cream. And to the cream, I'm going to be adding half a teaspoon of granulated sugar. And the last component is going to be half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So today I'm using this electric hand whipper, if that's what it's called, but you can definitely whip manually as well. It just takes longer and I don't have that much time, so I'm going to be using this today. If you are using an electric one, make sure you're whipping the cream at high speed because it's faster and it allows a lot more air to create, which gives the whipped cream a really nice, airy kind of silky consistency. Alright, so that looks about done. And the way to know whether or not your whipped cream has fully whipped is just to do a quick test. Flip, and if nothing falls, you're good to go. Before we move on to the second component, I'm just going to allow this whipping cream to cool in the refrigerator, and then we'll get started on the second part. Okay, so for the second part, I've got a jar here. You can definitely use a pan as well, with 3 cups of whole milk. You can replace it with any other milk as well, almond, soy, or whatever you like. And I'm going to allow the milk to heat on medium heat while we prepare the paste for the hot chocolate. Since we have 3 cups of milk, I'm going to be doing 3 cups of this chocolate powder. So before I make the paste, I just want to touch base on the chocolate I'm using today. I'm actually using a ground dark chocolate by Calibit, so it's not like a powder, it's not a cocoa powder, it's basically just shaved chocolate. And I'm going to be using 3 tablespoons of that. I'm going to add it to the bowl here. Okay. So I'm going to wait for the milk to warm up a little bit, and then I'm just going to be spooning out some of the milk into this bowl here to help create that luxurious chocolatey paste we need for the hot chocolate. Before we do that, I do want to say though that the chocolate I'm using here is about, I think, 60 to 70% dark, so it's not super sweet, but it's also not super bitter. If you are using our darker chocolate, feel free to add sugar to that, or if you like your hot chocolate sweeter, you can definitely do that as well. So my milk has warmed up a little bit. I'm just gonna put a few spoons in here. Okay. Paste here. And this is the consistency that I was looking for in paste. Super thick and creamy. And in my pan here, I'm noticing that the milk is slowly starting to come up to a boil. So before that happens, I want to add this chocolatey paste to the milk and allow it to completely come to a boil at that point. Okay. And I'm just going to incorporate it a little bit at a time. Alright, all done. Just gonna get my cups ready here. And I'm actually going to be straining the hot chocolate, so if there is any additional lumps of the chocolate paste or any of the sort of particles of milk, that will allow it to sort of not go into your cup of hot chocolate and keep it sort of smooth and luxurious. Okay, turning the heat off. Just remember to not fill it all the way to the top because we still have the whipped cream to add. Okay. The best part. And then the whipped cream. Allowing it to put it in the refrigerator actually also sort of gives it a firmer, I guess, shape or consistency. So it's definitely a good idea to let it cool in there while you're warming your milk up. And kind of a generous dollop there. And then a dollop here. Just a little more because there's never too much whipped cream. Okay. And to finish off, just a piece of dark chocolate that I'm going to be grating on here. And this will create a bit of a mess, but that's totally okay because this is going to be so delicious. And the last touch, just sort of a splash of cinnamon. All right, time to give it a taste.